Companies use letters of credit because they assure payment. But if you're not reviewing every detail of the LC, you risk an error that could lead to non-payment. I'm Kari Crane, editor of Shipping Solutions International Trade Blog Passages. I'm going to run through a checklist that you can use to make sure you don't run into problems with your LC. But first, make sure you subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any of our Basics of Exporting videos, sharing practical advice for exporters and importers. When you first receive an LC, read through it completely to get a basic understanding of the document, and then go back and check each of these details. Is your company's name spelled correctly, and is the address correct? Make sure the address that appears in the LC, which could be your corporate headquarters, matches the address shown on your documents. If they don't agree, the bank will call a discrepancy. Was it necessary for the LC to be confirmed? And if so, is the confirming bank acceptable? If you are uncomfortable with either the country of the buyer or the issuing bank, consider a confirmation. Is the amount and currency of the LC correct? Make sure it agrees with the sales contract. You cannot draw 1 penny more than the LC value unless the words about or approximately are used, in which case you have a leeway of plus or minus 10%. Is the tenor of the draft acceptable? Make sure it properly reflects when you expect to get paid. Is the merchandise described correctly? This is one of those really picky points with the bank. The merchandise description on your invoice must exactly match the description in the LC. If it is misspelled on the LC, you'll either have to misspell it on the invoice or have the LC amended. This is one of the reasons why successful export companies rely on export documentation software. Shipping Solutions eliminates the redundant data entry that can lead to errors. Enter the information once, and then it is automatically inserted in the proper format on all the export paperwork. Does the Incoterm match your sales contract? Incoterms are a set of rules that define the responsibilities and liabilities of sellers and buyers for the delivery of goods under a sales contract. Are the transportation details correct? The method of shipment should agree with your sales contract. Make sure the bill of lading, negotiable or non-negotiable, is addressed correctly. Can the shipping date be met? Remember that if this date falls on the weekend, you still have to ship by this date. It does not automatically extend to the next business day. Are the insurance instructions clear and correct? Damage during shipment occurs more frequently than most people think. Is the expiration date acceptable, and does it expire in the United States? If this day falls on a weekend or a day when the bank is closed, you have until the next banking day to present your documents. Are the document requirements clear and understandable? Is the LC requesting any documents that you weren't expecting? Will this add any additional expense? Does the LC contain reimbursement instructions? If not, payment won't be made before documents arrive at the issuing bank's counters, unless your bank will make special arrangements. Is that acceptable? Are the banking fees being paid by the correct parties? It is very common for the buyer and seller to pay their own bank fees. Ensure this is what's been agreed to and that it is clearly stated in the LC. Is the LC subject to the UCP 600? If the LC was issued in a SWIFT format, the issuing bank automatically agreed to pay the UCP 600. If the LC was issued in any other format and doesn't mention the UCP 600, you probably should have the LC amended. Proceeding with a letter of credit. If you've gone through this checklist and everything is acceptable, proceed with your shipment. But if there are problems with the LC, you have a decision to make. Do you play it safe and go for the amendment, or do you go ahead and ship, knowing there are going to be problems and discrepancies? Or is the LC so bad that you should think about canceling the order? Either way, you'll be glad you went through this checklist instead of being surprised after your goods ship. If you liked this video, like it, share it, and subscribe to our channel for more videos sharing real practical advice for exporters. You'll also find hundreds of articles about every aspect of exporting at shippingsolutions.com/blog. Look for a link below.